Hello, and welcome back to That's English.
Hi, everyone. So, Ashley, what's today's programme about?
Today's programme is about fears and phobias.
And do you have any phobias?
No, not really. But I have to say, I don't like snakes very much.
Snakes? Like this?
No, okay. I hate them. What about you, Annabelle? Don't you have any fears or phobias?
Yes, I can't stand cockroaches, cucarachas, especially flying ones.
You mean these lovely little things? Yeah. A lot of people have specific phobias about insects and spiders, but there are also other phobias.
Like agoraphobia, fear of open space. Fear of means tener miedo de algo.
Let's find out more in our documentary about phobias. While you watch, answer this question. What's the main treatment for phobias?
Let's see.
A phobia is an irrational and excessive fear of an object or situation. Very common ones are a fear of flying, of snakes, or of enclosed spaces. Psychologists usually group phobias into 3 types. The first type is called social.
You're right.
When a person is terrified of behaving in an embarrassing way in a social situation. The second type is agoraphobic, a fear of public places. And the third type is called specific, an excessive fear of a particular thing or animal, for example, dogs. So, when do these phobias normally start? We spoke to psychologist Dr. Marian Harding, who specialises in treating phobias.
Social and specific phobias tend to begin early in life. However, agoraphobia normally starts from the early 20s. Most common symptoms of phobia are rapid heartbeat, hyperventilating, feeling hot or sweaty, or also feeling sick.
There are a number of ways people with phobias can get help for their problem. Matthew Wong is one of Dr. Harding's patients. He suffers from agoraphobia.
Quite deeply, and I get short of breath. I was 21 when I started having panic attacks when I was out in public places. Soon I found it almost impossible to leave the house.
The main treatment for phobias is talking therapy, where the patient discusses his phobia with a psychologist and works out how to deal with negative thoughts and feelings.
This tries to make the patient think and behave differently when they encounter the cause of their phobia. It's usually a very gradual process.
There are other methods of therapy.
We use hypnotherapy to try to get the patient to react positively to the cause of their phobia. But you could also try yoga or meditation or relaxation techniques.
Phobias are common and can affect anyone. Napoleon Bonaparte was afraid of cats. The actress Nicole Kidman is afraid of butterflies. And Alfred Hitchcock had a fear of eggs. Therapists go on improving their techniques, so there's now much more hope for a phobia sufferer to be cured. But in Britain, it's best not to be an ombraphobe. They're afraid of rain.
I'd never heard of a social phobia, a fear of behaving in an embarrassing way.
Well, we certainly haven't got that.
So, did you get the answer to our question? What's the main treatment for phobias?
Let's watch it again.
The main treatment for phobias is talking therapy, where the patient discusses his phobia with a psychologist.
The main treatment for phobias is talking therapy, where the patient discusses the phobia with a psychologist.
But they also mentioned other types of therapy, like hypnotherapy, yoga, meditation, or relaxation techniques.
Well, maybe you should try hypnotherapy for your snake phobia, Ashley.
Good idea.
By the way, I heard about a strange phobia, a fear of Friday the 13th.
I thought that was just a superstition.
Well, usually, yes. But for some people, it's a phobia. And you know that in Spain, Tuesday the 13th is unlucky, not Friday.
Well, let's hear what our international friends said when we asked them what are the most common superstitions in your country.
There are a few silly superstitions in Australia. One that I know of is that if an ambulance goes past you and you hear the siren, you put your finger in your belly button and that's supposed to stop bad things happening to you.
I know I have a lot of people say you mustn't walk under a ladder. It give you bad luck.
One of the most common or famous superstition is don't kill a spider, otherwise it will bring bad luck.
The most common superstitions in England would have to be walking under a ladder or an unlucky number like 13.
One of the biggest superstitions or myths is the Loch Ness Monster. There have been many sightings, but not a lot of proof to back them up.
We have many superstitions in England. I don't believe in any of them. Touch wood, nothing's happened to me. That's one. Cracks in pavements, walking under ladders. They're all a little bit strange, but they've obviously got an origin somewhere.
Did you hear what the Australian said? When you hear an ambulance, you have to touch your belly button. That's the most ridiculous superstition I've heard.
But the fear of walking under a ladder seems to be universal.
Well, there's a good reason for that. Something could fall on your head. So, now it's time for our last episode of That's Britain. Elizabeth visits Salisbury Plain.
Salisbury Plain has several ancient mystical sites, such as Stonehenge and Avebury.
On the longest day of the year, the summer solstice, people go to Stonehenge to watch the sun rise.
While you watch, answer this question. What do some people believe that the Avebury stones represent?
Let's watch.
Hello, today I'm on Salisbury Plain in the county of Wiltshire, which is a large area of grassland. For more than 100 years, much of the area has been a training ground for the army, so very few people live here. But many tourists do come here because of this. Stonehenge. It was probably completed about 3,500 years ago. The big stones are called blue stones and can weigh up to 4 tons each. They were brought from Wales more than 160 miles away by a combination of river, land and sea. Other people believe that the stones were brought here by a glacier in the last ice age about 20,000 years ago. I'm here with Keith, one of the guides at Stonehenge. Keith, do we know what Stonehenge was for?
Yeah, we know that it certainly is a solar calendar. It shows definitely the solstice in the summer.
So you said that the stones are a calendar. Do you actually see the sun rise up the stones?
It doesn't rise up the stones, it rises through the stones.
About 20 miles north, we find ourselves in the village of Avebury. It looks like a normal English village, doesn't it? Until you see this. People think originally that there were 400 stones standing here. Over the years, many were taken away as building materials or destroyed by farmers, and even the church, who thought it was a place to worship the devil. Certainly, many people think it's a place of magic. And here is another ancient monument. This is Silbury Hill, the tallest prehistoric human-made mound in Europe. Nobody knows why it was built. Local legend has it that the devil was carrying a large bag of soil to drop on Avebury. but he was stopped by some priests and dropped it here instead. On one side of Avebury is this avenue. There are about 100 pairs of these prehistoric stones. Each pair seems to have one tall thin stone and one short stone. And some people believe that these could represent a male and a female.
I've got Dave and Emma with me who are at Avebury today. Dave and Emma, why have you come to Avebury? What are you hoping to see in the surrounding area?
We come down to see the stones, the Neolithic stones in the village, and then we're going up to see Silbury Hill and West Kennet Barrow, and then off to Laycock, which is further to the west.
You mentioned the Neolithic stones. Is that a particular interest to you?
Yes, I just find it fascinating that things like that were built so many years ago without any electronic equipment or the mechanical stuff. They just managed to haul these stones and build this amazing place.
Well, that's the end of our tour around a very chilly southwest of England. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.
It's a mystery how they brought the stones from Wales to Stonehenge.
Well, the whole area is very mysterious, with all its legends and superstitions.
Did you find the answer to our question? What do some people believe that the Avebury stones represent? Let's watch it again.
On one side of Avebury is this avenue. There are about 100 pairs of these prehistoric stones. Each pair seems to have one tall thin stone and one short stone. And some people believe that these could represent a male and a female.
So some people believe that the Avebury stones could represent a male and a female.
Maybe it was used for special ceremonies. Imagine when there were 400 stones.
I'd love to go to Stonehenge and see the sunrise through the stones. It must be impressive.
Oh, yes. Well, it's time to say goodbye now. We do hope you've enjoyed your tour around the south and southwest of Britain, and we look forward to seeing you soon in That's English.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Ah.